Hi, Jeff here with Mr. Hardwater. We just finished our first couple installments on the standard hopper, which is behind me. We learned there how to pull it out of the box, take a look and see what's inside of it, how to get it set up for operation. And what we're going to do now is we're going to test it here in our shop. And this is something you should consider also doing, is to set it up and test it in your garage, in your backyard, or at home somewhere to get a feeling for how this system works. Now remember, we filled this up with our sand, and the sand is 30 grit, and we were using that material to simulate our Max Strip PT2 if you're a pool cleaner, or glass beads, and even the sodium bicarbonate. Because remember, the sand that's in the hopper right now is a little bit heavier and grittier than some of the media you'll be using. So if we can get our system tuned up and working here, should be a no-brainer when it comes to being on the job site. So let's take a look and summarize our system. The system is behind me here, and we're fully loaded with our sand material. I'm going to take the lid off, set it off to the side. And remember that this system here runs in two different modes. It's going to run in our hopper mode and also in bucket mode. So what I'm going to do now is set up the system for bucket mode first, and then we'll switch over to the hopper system. So remember, the system comes with two 20-foot pieces of hose. So to set it up for the bucket, what we're going to do is take our bucket like this. We're going to hook up our hose to our media stake like this. And then we're going to put the stake into the bucket. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to hook this up to our pressure washing gun, which is right here. Now when it comes shipped from our factory, it comes with the hose connected to the hopper. So what we're going to do now is just disconnect this hose, and we're just going to connect this hose like this. Alright, so now we're ready to go. We've got our blue hose. This is our high pressure hose connected to our pressure washer. I'm going to go over there and start up our pressure washer, and we're going to start drawing some media from the bucket and start shooting some of our porcelain tile just to get a feeling for the strength. And right at first, I'm going to close this valve here so we don't have any suction, and I'll open it up once we get started. First thing I'm going to do though is wear some protective eyewear, which in this case my sunglasses, and let's go ahead and start this system up and get it going. So I've got the water on, or let me turn on the water. So I've got the water on right now. I'm going to turn on our pressure washer. Like this. We've got it pretty much hooked up now. I'm just going to let the motor warm up for a second. We can test our spray pattern. Looks pretty good. Let's go turn on our motor now, and we'll start blasting some of this tile. The first thing we want to do is put our finger over here to see if we got any suction pressure. Yeah, we do. Good. We can also take a look at our inline gauge over here, and it looks like we're going to be about 4,200 PSI will be up to about 3,800 PSI effective pressure. Here we go. See the media coming through the hose. sand is flowing through the hose and it looks like it's coming really good. Okay, so you can see that the Venturi head here has quite a bit of power, and it did a pretty good job of moving this 30 grit industrial sand through the hopper, through the hose, and out the tip. And it was nice because we had a good flow going. But as you can see on those close-ups, the media did come in chunks. Like it sucks a little bit, you know, about a foot length, and gets a little air gap, and then more, and then it just keeps going back and forth like that. And that's just the nature of the physics of these hopper systems. However, once we use the carburetor on there, which will be shown in subsequent videos, that'll really smooth out the flow, and it'll drive the media further. Because remember, we have about a 20-foot hose right now, and that's about as far as we can get with an uncarbureted system, about 20 feet. So overall, the system running pretty good. And let's see what we did to our tile. Now remember, we used a pretty strong sand, and you can see that on this porcelain tile. Let's start to wear away the finish, which isn't surprising because it's the hardness of the sand is pretty hard. Now if we were going to use a lighter media, then the results would be better. Like, we could be able to clean this if it had some calcium on it without damaging the substrate. And in fact, that's the challenge for the operator, is to not overblast but not underblast. And that means you got to tune these systems with the pressure, using your pressure regulator back there and gauge, and also the media. Those are really the only two controls on these systems, is to adjust that pressure and adjust the media type. And if you adjust those two parameters, then you can effectively clean or maintain just about any kind of surface you want. So here we go. We've got that finished. And just the summary, we got our poker. If you ever need it, you can jam it all the way down in there. In this case, we didn't need it, but it's nice to have. We'll put that back on there. And then one thing I did want to show you too is the kick plate on the back. So moving this around, you know, it's not that big a deal. You know, it moves around pretty well. So on the back here we have a nice kick plate that you can use to push it back, and it's kind of nice with the casters also. So there you go. That's the standard hopper and bucket system. You can alternate between these two techniques in this system, and if you have any questions, just let us know, and we'll be happy to help.